Hello, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Nice plane. Everyone having a good time. We'll be back in Washington soon. We have a lot of good news to report, and you'll be hearing about it. Probably not now, but you'll be hearing about it. We've had some good things coming out of the many war zones that were created by Biden and a group of incompetent people. But I think we have some pretty good news. So we'll talk about that later or tomorrow. Any questions?
Any plans to speak with President Xi this week?
No plans to speak to him, but China and our people are talking about different things. Yeah.
Why did you assign Waltz out of his position as the National Security Advisor?
I actually think it's a higher position. I want to know the truth. I think it's an upgrade. I think moving him there is an upgrade.
Mr. President, during the News Nation town hall, you said that you didn't make any mistakes in your first 100 days. Was appointing Mike Waltz as your National Security Advisor a mistake?
No, it's irrelevant. It's not a mistake or not a mistake. It's not a big deal.
So what made you
He
lose
was fine, and where he is, he'll do a good job.
What made you lose
I don't
confidence?
consider that. I didn't lose confidence in him.
So what was
Why did I lose confidence? He's going to the United Nations. To me, I think it's personally, if I had a choice for myself of doing, I'd rather have that job than the other.
Did he resign on his own, or did
He didn't resign.
So what
I
was
just moved him. There was no resignation. You people are so bad. You know, you're trying to make a big deal out of something that's not. You are so bad.
What's your time?
That's why nobody watches you anymore. Who are you with?
Mr. President?
Who are you with?
I'm with
You with who?
First TV.
First. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Mr. President, any trade deals coming this week?
It could very well be.
Can you tell us more about them?
Nobody understands. We're negotiating with many countries. But at the end of this, I'll set my own deals because I set the deal. They don't set the deal. I set the deal. They've been ripping us off for years. I set the deal.
Sir,
Every country, almost without fail, friend and foe, has been ripping us off for years. So we're meeting with almost all of them, including China. And at the end, I'm setting the deal. They keep saying, when are you going to, this is not like a big deal that's going to be signed. In some cases, we'll sign. But we don't have to have signed. I'm going to be setting the deal. I'll be setting a tariff. You keep asking the same question. When will you agree? It's up to me. It's not up to them. It's up to me. Now, they don't have to deal with us, which is okay because we lost, under Biden, we're losing $5 billion a day. Think of it. $5 billion a day. Now we're not dealing with China at all because the tariff's so high that they basically can't deal. And because of that, we're saving billions of dollars, you know. But and I'm not saying this to be a wise guy with you, to be mean. I don't want to be mean to you. You're, good professional. But you do keep asking me that same question. It's not like we're going to sit down in an ivory room and we're going to he's going to say, there'll be some of that, very little. I don't see a lot of it. At some point in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to be setting the deal. I'm going to say that such and such a country has had a tremendous trade surplus their way with us. They've taken advantage of us in various ways. And we fully understand what they were doing. We were being led by people that were not very smart. They were able to be taken advantage of, but I can't be taken advantage of. So at a certain point, I'll be just setting a certain tariff number.
what's your PEPFAR, sir?
Say it.
On PEPFAR, AIDS treatment in Africa, there's a waiver in place, but people are saying to my colleagues that they're still not getting medicines, and UNAIDS...
Well, that shouldn't be happening. But the other thing, other countries should be helping us with that. And I'm a big fan of getting that solved. But, we're the only country. Where is France? Where is Germany? Where are these other countries? Nobody does anything but the United States. And we spend, billions and billions of dollars. So they should be helping also. But as you know, we did a waiver. You know that, right?
Right, but there's
Well, I can't help that because if we did a waiver, then you have to get your people to act properly in the waiver. But I do ask, why are we the only country doing it?
Mr. President, what's your timeline on the rest of your judicial nominations, and what's your criteria when you're picking judges?
Which nominations?
The future judicial nominations for the federal judge positions.
Well, we're putting them in rapidly. We're trying to get very good ones. I mean, we need judges that are not going to be demanding trials for every single illegal immigrant. We have millions of people that have come in here illegally, and we can't have a trial for every single person. That would be millions of trials. The people elected me in a landslide with we won every swing state, we won everything there is to win by big numbers. Not only swing state, we won the popular vote by millions of votes. They elected me, this was the number one issue, and now we have judges that are radicalized and they're crazy because they want us to have, if you believe this, they want us to have a trial for every person that came in illegally into our country. So they come into our country illegally, and then we're supposed to take weeks, I guess, and months to have a trial on every criminal, and we have murderers all over the country. I don't think the Supreme Court will stand for that. I can't believe it. Because you know what? If they do, we're not going to have a country. Go ahead.
How will you make sure that the judges that you appoint are different than that?
All you can do is do the best you can. You know, you try and appoint the best people to being judges or anything else that you appoint. But so far, you know, we've been very disappointed with the decisions that come out, and mostly from the people appointed by others than me. But it's just so hard to believe that you have a murderer. Many, you know, we have 11,888 or whatever the number is. We have thousands of murderers in this country. We're getting them out. And they say, we don't want them out. We want them to stay in our country until they have a trial. Trials take years. They take years. It's so crazy. We won't have a country left. We can't have that happen. Who are you with?
Wall Street Journal.
That's right. Well, you people treat us so badly. Wall Street Journal has truly gone to hell. Go ahead. It's a rotten newspaper. You hear what I said? It's a rotten newspaper.
Are there any updates and talks with
I wouldn't tell the Wall Street Journal because it'd be wasting my time. There are talks, but I don't want to talk to the Wall Street Journal. But look, Wall Street Journal is China-oriented, and they're really bad for this country. Go ahead.
You want a fair deal. You say you want a fair deal with China. What is a fair deal like that you want them to?
Well, you know, I want a fair deal with China, but China's been ripping us off for many years, so maybe something should be thought about, you know, a little bit of retribution. China's been ripping us off for many years, ever since they started. To me, I think it was the worst thing that Richard Nixon ever did. And it was Nixon, you know, he's the one that got it started. And they've taken advantage of it. No.
Mexico's president is claiming that you offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico, and she said that she didn't want them in Mexico. Is that true? Can you tell us about those conversations?
So Mexico is saying that I offered to send U.S. troops into Mexico to take care of the cartel. She wants to know, is that true? Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
That's why I'm asking. We'll see.
I will answer it. It's true.
And why would you do that?
Because they are horrible people that have been killing people left and right, they've made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. We lost 300,000 people last year to fentanyl and drugs. They're bad news. Yeah, that's true. If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in and do it. I told her that. I would be honored to go in and do it. The cartels are trying to destroy our country. They're evil. And, you know, we had 300,000 people die last year from fentanyl and all of that. We had millions of people brought into this country that shouldn't be here. The cartels brought them in. So if she said that I offered to do that, she's 100%
And are
right.
you disappointed that she denied that request, that she doesn't want?
Well, she's so afraid of the cartel she can't walk, so, you know, that's the reason. And I think she's a lovely woman. But the president of Mexico is a lovely woman. But she is so afraid of the cartels that she can't even think straight.
So on Friday, you told Christian Walker that maybe little girls Christmas doesn't need $35. Maybe they just.
Let's not. What all I'm saying is that that a young lady, a 10-year-old girl, 9-year-old girl, a 15-year-old girl doesn't need $37. She could be very happy with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I would. Let's not waste a lot of time on a stupid question. What else? Well, I don't know about it, but I'm honored if that's the case. If they're going to name a road after me, if that's the case, I'm honored. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
do you
I understand.
consider-
Go ahead.
Who are you considering to be your more permanent national security advisor?
Well, I have a lot of people that want the job, I can tell you. It's, I mean, you know, a lot of people say it really works in with what Marco's doing. But we have a lot of people. I'm going to be naming somebody, but we'll
What's
make
the
it.
timeline on that?
I would say within 6 months.
Like,
He would do the job permanently, but I don't. I think it's, you know, it's an appropriate
Are
job.
you considering Stephen Miller? Are you considering Stephen Miller for that position?
Stephen Miller's at the top of the totem pole. I mean, I think he sort of indirectly already has that job. You understand? Because he has a lot to say about a lot of things. He's a very valued person in the administration, Stephen Miller.
As we've reached 100 days, what do you see as your main agenda items for the next 100?
I think we had the greatest 100 days in the history of our country for an administration. I think we've done more. We've gotten rid of woke. We're strengthening up our military. Think of it. 6 months ago, we had the worst numbers in the history of our military for joining our military and police. Now we have the best numbers we've ever had. Just think of that. It's not even possible. Inflation's down. All costs are down. Everything is down, other than, as Tristan said, the thing that you carry the babies around in. But that's up 3%. Energy's down. Gasoline's down. Nobody's ever seen anything. Far ahead of schedule. So people that were paying a lot for groceries are paying a lot less. And interest rates are even down. You know, we have a very stubborn Fed, but Fed should lower, but you know, that's okay. But interest rates are down, mortgage rates are down, and pretty amazing. So we've done. I don't think there's ever been a better opening 100 days. We have a lot of fake polls where they interview Democrats, not Republicans, but meaning more Democrats. I had a pollster that said to me, a legitimate pollster, John McLaughlin, top person. He said he's never seen polls that were so fake before, where they overweight the Democrats. And I only bring that up because I think it's something that should be said. It's a shame how dishonest the media is. The media is corrupt and they're dishonest and they're so bad for our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
What's your
Yeah,
message to
I
families?
understand.